Successful people stay on the cutting edge. Successful people stand out from the crowd. Successful people make a difference. Keith Krantz takes you behind the scenes and inside the minds of some of the most successful people today who have pushed through barriers and continue to grow despite a down economy. And now, stay on the cutting edge with all things digital media and learn from top experts how they do it. Here's your host of Success Mashup Radio, Keith Krantz.
Welcome to Success Mashup Radio. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend this weekend. And I'm looking out the window and it's actually not raining. Usually on these Mondays lately it's been raining quite a bit, so that's a good sign. And I'm pretty excited about today's show. I've got two great guests. I'm going to go over a pretty cool topic that's really relevant for a lot of people out there that have a business or are starting a business or entrepreneurs or have some type of cause that they want to promote. I've got a couple great guests right after that, Carla Tews and Daniela Isabella. Hopefully I pronounced your last name right, actually. Did I? Okay, good. Before we get into that, though, what I want to talk about just for a few minutes is how to reach more people using some of the most cutting-edge strategies on Facebook. And specifically, I'm going to talk about 4 ways you can get better conversions and really more customer engagement with Facebook advertising right now. With basically some of the big changes, Facebook has made some huge changes over the past really 6 to 9 months, and they're adding some more, and they're making really adding more tools in their toolbox for businesses or entrepreneurs to be a lot more successful using it. And there's a lot of reasons why. One of the most important reasons is because they have to, actually. They've got to increase revenue because they're a publicly traded stock. So they're making it easier to do cool things with sites like Pinterest that we're going to touch on too here in a little bit, and all the other sites, Twitter and LinkedIn and stuff. But what I want to talk about is really how to get better conversions. You know, right now I've got some clients that are kind of big name guru type of people in the marketing world, and guys like Jack Canfield, the author of all the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and we use Facebook to drive traffic to their teleseminars and some of their events and stuff. And what's working right now is pretty cool. And if you really want to be successful, these 4 strategies, and I go into more details on how to set these things up in some of my other trainings. You can access those, and this podcast, or this actually segment here, is going to be part of a podcast that I'll go ahead and put on the website, and you can access it at dominatewebmedia.com/session10. So you're going to be able to get all the show notes there in case you're listening to this at a later date, or if you're listening live and you want to access any of the resources I talk about. So you can access that there. So let's go ahead and get into it. Basically, right now, over 60% of users on Facebook are accessing Facebook from their phones or from their tablet. And that's just growing and growing. Everybody knows that. Everybody's got an iPad these days and an iPhone or one of these tablets, right? So according to Social Code, Facebook ads earn up to 2.5 times more than desktop-only ads. So Facebook, actually newsfeed ads, I think I left a word out there, they earn up to 2.5 times more than desktop only. So what you need to do is you need to get in the newsfeed. You got to be careful, though. We'll talk about some of the issues there with spam and all those types of things. But I want to talk about this because it's really important. A lot of people, when they think about Facebook, they think about, oh, I need to be a social butterfly, or I need to be able to be on there all the time. And it's really not about that. It's about understanding, having the right systems in place, understanding how to reach your target audience or target demographic, and then doing it. And you can really get out there. You can get in front of a lot more people than you realize because of the Facebook advertising. And now you can actually get in the news feed in front of people that are not even your fans. It's pretty cool. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and run through these. And the first thing is basically you want to reach more fans through the news feed and through mobile. So you see, like I said, 60% of people are on mobile now. So how do you, if you're doing a traditional sidebar Facebook ad, you're not going to show up on a mobile phone. You need to be in the news feed. And so one of the things you can do right now is to get in the news feed and on mobile. The best way to get the highest click-through rates, or literally you can get 500 to 600% higher click-through rates than you would on a sidebar ad. And this might be over some of your heads, but this is really important because if you have a business and you want to grow your business, this is one of the fastest ways to do it. So we're doing it every day. So in order to set up one of these ads right now, you actually have to use the Facebook Power Editor, which you can click on a link. Go to the dominatewebmedia.com session 10, and then I'll have a link to another tutorial that I've got that actually walks you through how to set up the Facebook Power Editor. It's really easy. You can do it right from Facebook, and they've got tutorials on it. It's not hard to do. It's not technical, but you need to do it. You need to basically install it via your Chrome browser. So you have to use Chrome, Google Chrome for your internet browser instead of like Explorer or Firefox. Once you do, you basically just set up an ad inside the Power Editor. And then once you do, they give you 5 choices. So the part that you want to pay attention to is the placements section in this ad. So you have 5 choices. 1, you can place your ad in all of Facebook, which in parentheses it says includes newsfeed. So it's basically going to show up in the newsfeed. It's going to show up on the side of Facebook. And then the other one is desktop. So it's the right-hand column and newsfeed on desktop only. So your ad will show up on the right side of Facebook, but it won't show up on a mobile device. Okay. Number 3 is newsfeed and then desktop and mobile. So basically it's not going to show up on the side. It's only going to show up in the newsfeed. Number 4 is newsfeed desktop only. Number 5 is newsfeed mobile only. The one you want to pay attention to is number 3. So basically, in a gist, if you want to really get your stuff in the newsfeed, then you set it up with the Power Editor. Then what you do is just choose option 3, which is newsfeed, desktop, and mobile. And instead of getting like a 0.04 click-through rate, you'll get like literally a 3 or 4 or 5%, which is like 100 times better. So in really, really cheap clicks, and you'll be in front of a lot of people. Now, I'll talk about some of the strategies in a second here. You got to be careful because if you're putting your stuff in the news feed of people that are not your fans, then some people are going to think it's spam. It's funny how when people get behind a computer, they automatically get really tough, and we'll talk about that in a second here. But you got to be careful there. But the point is if you do this, you can get your stuff out there in front of a lot of people. So the other thing you want to do is you can ignite your lead generation with Facebook offers. Offers are a huge thing right now. You're seeing a lot of companies, a lot of big brands doing offers. It's really kind of spun off from Groupon and Living Social, and people just they'll like a lot of brand pages. Like I think it's like 58% of people like a brand because of a discount or a promotion that they're running. So the offers are a big deal, and they show up at the top of the newsfeed. But the cool thing is you don't necessarily have to have a product to sell or be running a promotion. Because remember, I've talked about a lot is that people on Facebook are not in a position they're not sitting there looking for something to buy. They're in a social atmosphere. You're kind of interrupting them as it is, so you have to be careful. So what's working really well right now is if you want to run a Facebook offer, do it to a free offer. Maybe it's a white paper download. Maybe it's a free report. Maybe it's a really cool video you made, where people are learning more about your business. Something where they can get it for free, but they have to give you their email address or contact information in exchange for that. Or maybe it's just register for an event, an online event, a live event. Offers are great to promote an event. A lot of stuff that you'll be seeing a lot more people doing, but it's really cool because what you can do when you do that is now you can kind of build a relationship with this person that claimed your offer. And the cool thing about offers is that unlike Groupon or Living Social, when you see this at the top of the news feed, let's say it'll say 79 people claimed this offer, or 679 people claimed this offer. Well, in Groupon or Living Social or any of those deal sites, every time they say however many people have actually claimed this offer, that's how many people have purchased that deal, right? Well, with Facebook offers, that number only means how many people have actually clicked on that link and went and looked at your offer. And so they haven't necessarily bought it or took an action on your side, but what it does is actually a good thing for you is it builds up that social proof. So a lot of people, if you have a good offer or a good title of your offer, a lot of people will click on it. And if you're running some good targeted Facebook ads, then you'll get a lot of people to click on it. The more people that do that, the more people that claim it, the more people that want to click on it because of that. So it's kind of a snowball effect that happens. So the one thing to be aware of, though, if you do an offer, you have to run an actual Facebook ad to do it. So you can't just set up an offer and then let it go. It will post up on your page, but it will not post live until you set up some type of Facebook ad promotion. So that's the one stipulation. So it's a great way to generate leads basically on Facebook. So The other thing, a couple other little things here, and I'm going to touch on some important notes like images, like the newsfeed spam, and then we'll be done here. And number 4, another great way, number 3 actually, is custom audiences. So if you're a business that you have a pretty good database already, if you're a local business, if you're a brand, if you're an online business, whatever it is, if you've got a database or an email list, then you can upload that now inside that Power Editor, and you can run Facebook ads to those people specifically. And so let's say you're a business, even if you're a local business, and you run a big weekend promotion. So when I used to own my local businesses, we used to do like 3-day sales. In our 3-day sales, we would typically sell we'd sell about, 3 to 4 to 5 times the average on a day than we would any other time. Just even from people just walking in that normally come in every day because of that whole event atmosphere. People love that, and they get into the whole, it's really contagious. And so people get into that momentum and they take action. So with Facebook, you can actually, run one of these offers, you can set up an event, and you can do something kind of timely, and then you can use these Facebook ads to run them to your existing audience or to local people that aren't necessarily part of your fan base. But with custom audiences, you can actually just upload that database, so you can export your email list onto an Excel spreadsheet, upload that to Facebook, and now the only people that will see that is the people that are on your list. So maybe it's a reminder of something. Maybe it's a reminder of a webinar. Maybe it's a reminder of a local event. Those are pretty cool ways, and you'll get, typically with this stuff, when you're running these types of promotions to your existing audience, you'll get 3 to 4 to 5 times the conversion rate. So even e-commerce sites, a friend of mine has an e-commerce site. Typically, Facebook is not a great way to generate new customers, new visitors to their page. But what they do is they use Facebook to basically market to people that have already visited their page once via Google or whatever it is. Then they use Facebook to get them back, or they use Facebook to do a weekend promotion or a 7-day promotion. And their conversion rates are usually 3 times more than every other source. So, and then you're talking about, we'll talk about Pinterest a little bit in the second one, but now you can use Facebook to kind of ignite something, a contest, pin it to win it contest, where now you can get people enter a contest to repin this image. And now you can actually get that really going. But if you run some Facebook ads to ignite that, it will really, really explode. So it's a lot of cool stuff you can do together to get things going. And so the other thing is Facebook retargeting. I don't want to go into details on this because it's pretty kind of a little more complex, but basically with Facebook retargeting is, like I had mentioned a second ago, let's say somebody they visit your website, just somehow they found it on Google, or somebody referred your website to them, or somehow, then what you can do is you can actually, the next time that person visits Facebook, they leave your website, they don't take any action, they don't buy anything, they don't join your list. Now you can have a Facebook ad that shows up on their wall telling them to come back for some reason. And those ads are very targeted. They're only going after people that were already somewhat interested in your business or product or service. And now they're on Facebook, and guess what they're going to do? Now they're going to come back. It's a great way to target, and you'll get a lot higher conversions than everything else. So those are ways that are working really, really well right now. Important notes. One is use images with everything you do. Okay. If you post up a blog post to Facebook, you need to create a quick image, and then have basically your status update is a status update with a link to your blog post. But you need to upload an additional image, because that's what stays at the top of the news feed. And if you're going to run any of these types of ads like I just talked about, you're going to want to have an image, because it stands out a lot more, and it will stay at the top of the news feed as far as the organic and natural side of things are concerned too. So a great tool is called PicMonkey.com. I just learned about this. I've talked to this about some shortcuts about using Keynote and PowerPoint to create images, but PicMonkey, PicMonkey.com. Basically, you can upload an image, and then it'll let you write text and stuff on it. It's really cool. So say you want to do an inspirational quote, upload it to your page or Pinterest. You can upload this photo or image to PicMonkey, and then you can add some really cool looking text. And now you have this image that works great with Facebook. Okay. Inspirational quotes work super well, especially if they're part of a big image and then the text is on the image. You guys have all seen them. So photos generate 53% more likes and basically the same amount a lot more clicks on the status part of that update. So you're going to get a lot more action when you upload a photo. So the other thing is a study by Buddy Media basically said that if you tell somebody what to do, and this is what we always do, I always tell somebody, click this, register here, whatever it is I'm trying to do. So if you upload an image or a video or something like that, or you're doing an offer, make sure in the status update part where you're writing your message, you tell them what to do. So if you tell somebody what to do, you'll have a 3 times higher like rate when asked. So when people are asked to click like if they like this or whatever, you'll get a triple the amount of people that will actually click like than would have if you wouldn't have said that. 3.3 times the amount of people will actually comment if you tell them to comment, if you're asking them a question. You'll have a 7 times higher share rate when people get asked to share. So remember that. Now, real quick, we're going to wrap up here, but when it comes to doing these promoted posts, if you run an ad if you promote your post right from the post instead of going into the actual Facebook ad manager, you can basically just promote your post and it'll just show up to the top of the news feed, and you can select friend or fans, or you can select fans and friends of fans. So now you can reach a lot more people. But the problem with that is people, if they see something at the top of the news feed of somebody that they don't already like, then they will comment on it. And even if it's a high value message, people they think it's spam. They get behind a computer and they get really tough. They'll swear words and stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff. I'm an admin of a lot of different pages and stuff. And people just, they get offended. It's kind of weird because you wouldn't think they would, because Facebook is a free service and it's really paid for by advertisers. It's kind of like if you're watching TV, most people don't, write a big letter to the cable provider because there was a commercial, or to the actual person putting on the commercial, and they're actually paying for their cable. So for me, it's kind of funny to see people get really, really ticked off, but I can see where they're coming from at the same time. So you do have to be careful, because you don't want to get too many of these spam complaints. Even if it's not spam, typically people that are, of course, there's a lot of people that are probably doing this that is spam. So now you're talking about people that are probably getting frustrated because they've seen some spam, and then maybe you put something out there that's really not at all, not even close to it. But some people, they don't remember liking that page or something like that, so they might do that. So the two things around it is when it comes to promoted posts, probably most of the time you're going to want to just run them to your fans. So that's another reason why you're going to want more fans, and running some of these ads is the fastest way to get more fans. Just all the different types of ads that they have available. But the other thing is too, if somebody does make a comment on it, if you do want out to fans and friends of fans, don't get offended by it, because you can remove it because it's just one of those things that people just they don't really understand, and they they get kind of tough. So don't worry about it if somebody does that. As long as you're providing high value with whatever you're posting, then that's all you can do. So don't get offended by it. So other than that, that's going to be it. So you're gonna want it. To get the rest of the notes here, go to dominatewebmedia.com/session10. All right. So we're going to be back here in a couple minutes with Success Mashup Radio to talk about event designing, interior designing for homes. So lots of cool stuff. How they're using some of these media channels too. So all right, we'll be back. Success Mashup Radio.